The Futa Coincidence 1 and 2, written by Carl East, narrated by Michelle Jones. The Futa Coincidence. Kelly was a bright young woman and someone you could trust, but she was struggling to keep the apartment she had and couldn't see a solution. Her job didn't pay badly, but because of New York, which is where the apartment was located, the rent was over $2,450 a month, and that was the cheap end of the market. To be fair, she did live in the heart of New York, but even so, the rent seemed exorbitant. She thought of taking in a lodger, but she was a very private person. She also had a secret, and it wasn't the sort of secret she wanted anyone to know about. She was born with a unique body. At least, that's what she used to tell herself. In technical terms, she was known as a hermaphrodite, but she preferred the term Futanari, or Futa for short. Kelly knew that she was one of only a few in the world, and she didn't want to be put on display for all to see. She'd kept her extra appendage a secret for over 18 years, and that wasn't about to change anytime soon. However, she was $800 short for her rent this particular month, and she didn't know what else to do. She looked through the paper for want ads just to see if there was anyone needing a place in New York, and was surprised to find half a dozen. It had to be a female, though, which took care of 4 of them, and that just left 2. You'd think it would be easy from that point, but both ads were by 19-year-old females. Both had jobs in New York, and both were desperate to find something nearer to work. Kelly gave it some thought and decided that she couldn't make her mind up based on a couple of paragraphs in a newspaper, so she decided to respond to both. She was going to interview them one at a time to see which one she could live with. Both girls had left an email address, so it was easy to get in touch, and within an hour of sending that initial message, she'd received replies from both of them. They were coming to see her the next day, the first at 4 and the second at 5 in the afternoon. Kelly hoped that she'd like at least one of them, but didn't dwell on it. The following day, the buzzer sounded on her wall next to her front door, and it was exactly 4 in the afternoon. Punctual, she thought. That's a plus. She pressed the button to allow access to the building and held it for a few seconds just to make sure the visitor managed to get in. She then waited for the knock on the door, and when it came, she opened the door to find a sweet-looking young black woman who was smiling. "Hi, are you here about the apartment?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?